Hi guys, so welcome to this second practice. This installment is more of a down regulating practice. So great one post run to stretch and open the body. Also just after, a hard day's work or, being around the house a little, sitting down, it's a nice opportunity at the end of the day to slow down and practice. If you practice yoga, this is more tailored towards a yin practice. And again, we'll work towards some running areas. So typically we'll go to adductors, hips and thoracic spine. So we'll target those three areas. And with this practice, if you're unfamiliar with yin, we'll hold shapes for a little longer. So we're going to hold poses for around 2 or 3 minutes. And you could totally customize if you want to add on or hold shapes for longer. You could repeat this little sequence a couple of times a week. And if there's a shape that you feel really nurtured or that it's quite nourishing for the body, stay there. Take as much time as you like there. And for props, for this one, we'll use a few props. So I actually have a bolster at home. A lot of you guys, I'm sure, won't have a bolster, but you could make do with a big cushion similar to this, like a long cushion. Or alternatively, I'm going to use a makeshift bolster for practice today. So I'm going to use a foam roller. Just got an ordinary foam roller, and I'm going to wrap a blanket or a towel. This is just a bath towel. So if you have a beach towel, even better. I'm going to take and drape the bolster with the bath towel. I'm going to make sure some of the towel is right up the end and kind of folds over because my lower back will rest against this. So there's a little cushioning and comfort. So go ahead, we're going to set up the first shape. I forgot to mention we also need a block for this one. So if you haven't got a yoga block sitting around the house, which some of you might not, grab a novel or something that will elevate the bolster, and we're just going to use it for the first one. It might even be a cushion to elevate the bolster. We'll go ahead and set up. So the first shape, we're going to set the block on its lowest level, and then we're going to take the bolster and sit the bolster on top of the blocks, just so the bolster or the makeshift bolster is elevated. Same as the dynamic practice, if you started with us, we'll join the soles of the feet to touch. Bring the lower back against the bolster. Soles of the feet touching, feet further away from the hips, you'll feel less sensation, closer, feel more sensation. And then go ahead and just lay down. So you lay back on the bolster, length of the spine on the length of the bolster. Reach your arms out wide and kind of shift and move early so get the position of the body right. And you can close the eyes if it feels okay. Then once you allow the body to settle, can you consciously relax? And start to feel the skin relax. You feel the muscles soften. And the bones. Notice if you could get the bones feeling heavy. Just let the body go here. And then you might notice the subtle quality of the practice. Feel the body breathing itself. And just as this is a down-regulating practice, notice if you could use the breath here to encourage the nervous system to relax. So each breath out, you might feel the body relax more, soften more. Almost as though it gets a little closer to the ground. Each breath out. We'll take 5 more breaths here. You might feel the body breathing out 5 times, and with the exhale, consciously soften. Just keep letting go and letting go. And no rush. Move a little slower between transitions in this practice. Just as you're ready, you'll bring the hands outside of the knees, and we'll gently gather the knees to center. Step the feet wide, let the knees knock in, just a little respite for the inner thighs, adductors. Hands can rest beside the body. And then take your time here with as less or little effort as possible. See if you can gently come up away from the ground. So you come up onto the forearms perhaps, and maybe take a lean over to the side. Just gently lift your way up away from the bolster. Keep the knees bent, step the feet onto the ground, and just a little rock side to side with the knees. So one way and in the opposite way. Notice when you're doing that, you create this sort of fluidity, again, this happy, healthy hip joint. And then the next time the knees fall over to the right side, we're going to keep the knees there. Slowly lift the spine a little, shimmy the right foot wide, and take the left foot back. So we're going to create a 90-90. So the right shin is at a 90-degree angle, roughly. And then take the left leg from the hip at 90-degree angle. So the left leg extends out from the hip at 90, down towards the left ankle. And then you could stay here, or you could slowly start to come down onto the forearms. If you're familiar with the sleeping swan or a pigeon pose in yoga, if it feels okay, you might even shimmy the left leg back behind you. You could move the props out from behind you. Shimmy the left leg back so it's straight behind the mat. And feel free to use a prop here, so you could take a cushion or the towel and place it underneath the right hip. Now if you could come down onto the forearms. And if it's too much, again, just kind of climb back to the 90-90. So find a position in the body that you're not wrestling the pose. And then slowly come down onto the forearms or stay up on the hands. Allow the eyes to perhaps close. You know, if you were to do the opposite, you know, from holding on and from gripping, you know, what would the opposite feel like? Could you kind of relax more? Use the breath out to soften more. Could you be in this shape with less effort? And again, use the exhale to downregulate. Use the breath out to relax the physical body, slow the nervous system. We'll take another 5 breaths here. Feel the body breathing out 5 times. Even the jaw, you know, this skin between the eyebrows, can you relax? More and more sensitive to parts of the body you're holding tension. Again, feel free to take your time, stay as long as you like. If you're ready to lift up, you just gently, an attitude of gentleness here in the transitions, just lift up, lean a little to the right. We'll sweep the legs forward and long. And kind of wobble back a little, so shimmy the hips back a little. You could pedal the heels. We're going to stay on the right side and we'll bend the left knee. Left foot catches the inner right thigh. So this one, if you feel a little jammed up in the lower back, totally normal as a runner. You might take the prop. If you have a cushion, you could sit on top of it. So then notice how that will give you a little elevation to tip forward. Or alternatively, you could roll up the same prop or cushion or bolster, place it underneath the right knee so the leg is bent, and that will alleviate a little tension in the lower back. So really slowly, wherever you are, you'll start to bow forward. Feel free to place another prop, like a pillow or the bolster, on top of the thigh so that you can rest the forehead there. Or alternatively, just rest fist on fist and maybe the forehead will rest. Take the first few moments to just set up the shape so that you can comfortably be in it. And then again, can you stay here with less effort? Can you be in this shape? And take the struggle out, kind of relax the body. Forward folds are said to be really quite calming, so can you drop into the energy of calm at this point? Take 5 more breaths here in the shape. Notice how the longer you're in the shape, the more and more the body naturally relaxes, naturally lets go. You might even feel the quality of deepening in the shape. Just gently again, you can keep the eyes closed or gently blink the eyes open as you're ready to come up. And we'll just lift up away from the ground, take the hands behind you, step the feet onto the ground, knees bend. You could stay still for a moment, just feel into the hip, the right side, or a little windshield wipe again side to side. So if you prefer movement, move more. If you prefer to stay still, just trust what you're feeling. And then if you're not windshield wiping at this point, I'll ask you to just dial the hips side to side. At one point, the knees will drop to the left. Keep the left shin there and 90-90 with the right leg. So right thigh extends from the hip, right heel in line with the knee. So it's rough degree, you could definitely customize to suit. If you want the pigeon version or the sleeping swan version, go ahead and slide the right leg back. That might even take the left heel closer toward the hip rather than be at a right angle. You could use the pillow or cushion or prop underneath the left sit bone. And then again, stay on the forearms or come down onto the back of the forehead, the forehead to rest on the back of the hands. As you find the position here, so take a few moments just to settle in. The idea here is to downregulate, so can you see if you can work with that? Let the dust settle. Notice how in any moment, there's so much potential to settle, so much potential to relax the body and settle the mind. We'll take 5 more breaths here in this shape. As you breathe out, can you feel the body release tension? Let tension come out of the body. And again, take your time, be really precise with the movement, no rush. Just slowly, gently lift up. And take a lean to the left, sweep both legs forward. Once the legs come forward here, let's take a moment to, you could again wobble side to side, or you make any adjustments that feel appropriate through the hips. And then when you're ready, left leg this time will go long, right knee bends. This one's called a half butterfly pose in yin. And again, you could use the props, so feel free to use the cushion on top of the thigh or under the knee, even to sit on to prop up. And then when you're ready to fold forward, go ahead and just slowly start to bow. And even if you feel really jammed up with this one, even if you feel really stuck, just start there. What a great place to start. And notice if you could relax wherever you are. We're learning more and more through this practice how to relax with the moment. What does it feel like to be still? Just to settle into this feeling of stillness. We'll take 5 more breaths here in this shape. Body relaxing on the breath out. Once again, just to gently lift, so you can keep that relaxed state as you come up without rushing, and there's no urgency. Just take both legs forward. We're going to come down onto the spine now, so we'll finish with a gentle twist. So have a prop handy beside you as you come down, and slowly roll down middle back, upper back, shoulders. Bring the knees to the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze when you get there. Keep the squeeze of the right knee, just step the left foot down. Let's slide the right thigh all the way over the left. We're going to shimmy the hips over to the right side of the mat, so press into the left foot. Take the hips right, drop the knees left. You could use a prop here to prop up the right knee as it falls toward the left side. Reach the arms out, and notice if you can relax the shoulders here. So the idea is to see if you can relax the shoulders down, especially through the right shoulder. You can close the eyes and feel like the spine starts to unwind, the sense of opening, and letting tension come out of the spine. Can you massage the twist here with the breath? This is not only a great one for the thoracic spine, middle to upper back, also a little through the SRJ or SR joint, back of the pelvis. Just feel the body naturally open without forcing. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths. Can you count the body breathing out 5 times? Once again, no rush. This one's a little deeper, so see if you can come out even more gentle. Knees come back through center. Just untangle the thighs, take your time, recenter the pelvis. A moment just in neutral spine, let the body rest. Okay, so then you give the knees a gentle squeeze into the body. This time keep the left leg, right foot steps to the ground. Left thigh slides over the right. And so if you had the prop to the left, just shimmy it or shift it to the right. Take the hips to the left side, use the right foot, press down, and knees fall to the right side. Left knee might rest on the prop, arms reach out. Feel the spine twist. Start to slow everything here. Breath. You slow the heart rate. As athletes, notice how it's a useful tool to be able to consciously down-regulate, to relax more. There's 5 more breaths here in this twist. At this point, 1%, could you relax 1% more? Take your time with this again, really gently. It's a deep one. Come out gently, untangle the thighs, recenter the hips. Step the feet back to center, bring the pelvis back to center. Gonna come into resting pose now, so let the legs be long. Let the feet flop out. Bring the hands to rest beside you. Come down and take a moment to allow yourself a moment to rest. You could stay and rest as long as you like as you come to the end of this practice. Thanks so much for practicing.